Hey guys, it's been a wild ride, and unfortunately this is going to be the last video for our Trap Mentalist. Our adventure was, pretty cool. It was the very first time I did a Let's Play series, or something like that, and hopefully it isn't the last. But let's get started with the reason why the adventures has to pretty much stop. I'm playing on hardcore right now. I actually didn't mention that when I began the series. But because I'm playing on hardcore, your life pool and effective life is very important. Because the build really revolves around 1, 2, 3, 4 core uniques. Well, actually it's 5 core uniques. So I need the pyre to convert the cold to fire. I need the double consuming darks to convert it to chaos so that it can poison. I need the self-bounds so that I can proc conflux. Don't really need Carcass Jack, but it does help with the clear speed because it makes it huge. Okay, regardless, if I don't have a Carcass Jack, I get any other life armor, I would probably only gain about, ideally speaking, 100 life roll on the chest, so I gain 40 life. It's not much, and that's pretty much one of the main reasons this character is always going to struggle with life. On the tree itself, it actually will end up getting, I think, somewhere roughly between 159 to 169 life, depending on the jewels. So if I get another jewel socket here, it's probably gonna be closer to 169. And then you add the 15% if you get perfect self-bounds on top of that. So it actually has like around 190 life, percentage life, if you ended up building it. But if I have a lot of percentage life, to complement it, you need a lot of life on the gear, which I don't have because I only have 4 pieces of gear that can roll life on it. So it's kind of like right now I have like, if we were to talk about like, it's probably something like 7 times 3 versus 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is actually larger, and you want to always balance your max life with flat life. Right now I'm really heavily invested in max life, but the flat life rolls it's just not there, and the character, even with all the levels going into life, next 10 levels will only have about 4.3k life. So enough about why this character basically has to stop. Let's actually talk about how it plays right now. So I run my minions, I run a dual curse setup. Temp chains on Blasphemy is really good. If you can get your hands on a quality temp chains, it makes it so that you can manually dodge everything. I opened a map. Let's actually go in and play. So I have a totem set up for bosses, but usually bosses die. Rares also die in one hit. The damage is there. The problem is survivability against off-screen heavy hitters such as like porcupines. Because the proliferate actually has killed a lot of porcupines off screen for me, I found that there were very many situations where I actually had to give up the map because the spike damage from quills was too much. Or like maybe I rolled 1 damage mod and there were avian birds, and their spit basically chunks me for 60% of my life with full ES. And when your life spikes that much in hardcore, you basically can't risk it. So you end up using more currency to roll your maps, which is why when you kind of create your characters, you always want to make characters that can do a lot of map rolls, very balanced offense, defense, and good life pool, balanced. Not all work and no play, or all play no work. You need to play hard and work hard. Something like that. I probably just ruined that saying, but whatever. So let's actually go find the boss. the Let's Play series was very enjoyable. I hope that we can do more, and I will probably be following a guide for the next video if I ended up making one. So I'll save the theory crafting for when I want to actually do a weird build that I've been thinking about with cluster traps and mirror arrow. But I need to figure out what ascendancy I want to use first. And basically that was it. I actually killed the boss and it was like right here. And I didn't even realize it. That's how much damage that one trap is putting out. Now if there were less frame drops and I was able to push 6k life, the build would probably be pretty good. I actually think if you went Assassin or Saboteur, it might be... Saboteur would definitely give you a lot more base life. Assassin, you could probably do a single trap, scale just one single trap, swap out increase effects with conk effect for bosses, throw one trap, set it up for the boss fights, throw like 6 or 7 traps, whatever the number is, and then basically the boss comes out, your traps all crit him, and then the boss instantly dies. The other ascendancy that I was thinking about to go this type of build is actually sorry, is actually, what was the...
How may I be of assistance?
Oh, sorry, Occultist? Yeah, I was having difficulties trying to remember the name. Where you would just get double curse and then you would run a triple curse with Enfeeble. That solves your defenses and your mitigation. You just can't run curse immune mounts, but who cares? It's just one mod out of many. The other one is because you can run 3 curses now there and you get a minus chaos aura, you would stack this jewel and use all life. So what you will do is you would scale area as much as you can, like normal, and then you would use the jewel called hairpin trigger or something. Trigger. Let me see if I can find that gem. Right here, hair trigger. So basically you get like 60% trigger radius, and if the math is right, the trigger radius should look like something like this. That inner circle there. So basically you would throw the trap, the mob would walk like this close to it and it would blow up, which is essentially the Sunblast setup, because right now without the trigger radius, the mobs literally have to walk on top of it before it triggers. But with 60% plus trigger radius, which is I believe here, you would come down and grab these just for trigger radius. You would fill up the whole thing. You would also come down here and pick up the trigger radius here, or you can come down and pick up the trigger radius here. So most likely you wouldn't go over here because it's actually out of the way. You'd probably spend the extra 5 points to get more trigger radius here, effectively making your traps kind of like Sunblast, where the trigger radius is so big that it doesn't really matter. It's gonna hit something if you throw it in. So you'd go Occultist. That was the last build, and then at that point you would have probably 5.5k life if you actually could skip the southbounds, because you don't need to do the kill on hit, and then you could skip that. You would just need these 3 items, and these 2 items would give you basically 200 life, which is actually the belt itself gives you 120 to 140 life depending on how well it's rolled. The belt is
You
probably the
want
most
something?
important slot for survivability, in my opinion. Anyway, I think I will be calling it for this character and this video. Um, I'm going to leave a link to the build that I will be playing. Uh, this person, his name is Illuminator. I really enjoy his theory crafting, and it's really out of, I guess, the ordinary. It's a Shadow Righteous Fire Essence Drain character, and it seems like a character I would like to play too, so I'm gonna try his build out, and I hope you guys enjoy my build for my Trapper, and I do highly recommend you guys check out his build too. It seems to be very interesting, and I'll see you guys next time.